to start about Blake.
Yes.
Blake. Thank God.
Yes, exactly right. I feel like Lois Heyman, who wrote the book, The Sound of Hope, saved his life. And I watched her do it twice a week for 2.5 years. And after 6 months, I said, we got to write a book because it's unfair that other children don't get her services, you know?
And we don't know how many kids have this?
They say about 5%. So, you know, I don't know. It's a hard thing to diagnose, but if it's your kid and you're trying to figure out why he went from a happy 5-year-old to a furious, rageful 7-year-old, you know, I was worried, Diane, that somebody had touched him inappropriately or somebody was, you know, I kept trying to ask him, Blakey, is somebody being mean to you? And he just could not understand the words, and I didn't get it, which is the reason for the book.
You played a tape which was amazing, of the sounds that he must be hearing, which tells you something about the courage of every day for him.
This is Little Red Riding Hood as heard by a kid with auditory processing disorder.
Ladle Rat Rotten Hut. Once upon term, there worsted ladle gull who lived with her murder in her ladle cottage on her itch of her lodge dock florist.
And then you said, if I read it correctly in the paper this morning, that he just said about a restaurant that's eerily quiet in here.
Yes, and the other day there were a bunch of kids at the house and he said, Mom, this place is full of mayhem. I was like, you're right, Blakey, it certainly is. So his vocabulary has increased 100-fold, you know, but it was for a long time very difficult.
So you're going to do a show. How big a decision was that? Was that sort of like off the high dive?
A little bit, you know. I mean, I worked really hard these last 8 years to try to remember my normal life before fame kind of took over. And, you know, now all my kids are at school. It's not for another year and a half, and my youngest will be 9.5. And, you know, I have all day. And I said to them, I sat down and said, what do you think? I'm going to go back to work. And my son Parker goes, so? And I said, well, it's going to be different. He's like, Mom, you're pretty famous now. I don't know how it's going to change. And they all just want to know if I would be home after school. And I said, well, that would be part of the deal. I'll try to make it.
Do you worry about what it takes to start a new show and carry a new show?
I had to make a plan for the second part of my life. I didn't know what I was going to do. And when Oprah said she was retiring and leaving, there was a huge void. And the people who did my show said, you know, what would interest you? And to do single topics about subjects I really care about, you know. So I think we're going to give it a try, September 2011.
So are you happy?
I am happy, Diane, which is sort of surprising because, you know, the whole thing with Kelly and I separating and stuff, it was not easy. It was a tough couple years. And probably the worst thing that I could ever imagine doing to my kids would be to break up the family, you know, because my mom left and it was devastating to me. So that was a very hard thing to get through. But, you know, Kelly and I sort of both knew that we needed to show them a healthy, happy, loving relationship for them to emulate. And, you know, she's happier now, and I think that I am as well. And it was a really hard couple of years, to tell you the truth. And now I'm feeling better. And according to Mark, I'm thinner. So I can never tell. I have reverse anorexia. You know, they think they're really fat. I'm really fat and think I'm thin. So I don't know. He seems to think I look better.
You look beautiful. I don't know, but better, no comparison. You really look beautiful.
Well, thank you very much.